Welcome everybody to Brazilian Kitchen. My name is Pedro and I'm your host for today's recipe. Today I'm not only your host, but I'm also hosting a few friends that are gonna come and enjoy our delicious feijoada. Guys, you know this is a playlist. We have right here everything that you must cook in order to make the perfect full feijoada experience. So we have recipes for our white rice, we have recipes for our torresmo, we have recipes for our farofa, and also we have a recipe for collard greens. As you guys can see, we have everything almost ready. The feijoada is in the fire. We're just waiting now for our friends to arrive and we're gonna be ready to serve our delicious feijoada. Before we show you guys the final result, of course, we're gonna teach you how to make. So for that, I'm gonna ask for the help of Pedro because we have to do some preparation for the feijoada. And he's gonna teach you guys what you need to do before the feijoada, the night before. See you guys soon. Hi everyone, this is Pedro. Before we start making our feijoada, we have to do a little prep the night before. So tomorrow we're gonna be receiving our friends. So we have this sun-dried meat here and we're gonna cut into pieces, trim the fat and leave it overnight in water so we can take all of the salt off. This fat here, we're not gonna use for anything, so I'm just gonna go ahead and discard it. Now we're gonna cut it in squares, 2 fingers. So 2 fingers here and cut. Now all that's left to do is cover it in water and then we need to change the water every 3 hours. So I'm gonna put it here now, put it in the fridge, and then 3 hours later I'm gonna change the water and I'm gonna do that until it's time for me to cook our feijoada. The reason we need to change the water is chemistry. After a while, the salt concentration on the water is so high that it won't take any more salt off the meat, and this is our intention, right? So we need to freshen up the water so we can receive more salt. This is all that I had to do, so now it's up to you, future Pedro, with the rest of the recipe. Bye! The first step with the beans is to soak them in water. So I'm gonna transfer them to this larger bowl and I'm gonna pour enough water to cover it. The reason we're doing this is so our beans will release some of the gas and it won't be as bad when we eat our feijoada. Usually when we're making regular beans, we leave them for 12 hours or overnight. But we don't have to do this right now because it's gonna be a long cook. Our feijoada beans are gonna be cooking for about 5 hours. So there won't be any gas left in the end. Now that we have our beans soaked in water, we're gonna start dealing with our meat. So let's get it. Now that we have all of our meat here, we're gonna start putting them into the pan that we're gonna cook for 10 minutes. I'm gonna put everything in the pan and cover it with water. And then we're gonna boil everything. I'm cutting the pork chops so they will be roughly the same size of the dry meat. The pork chop shouldn't be not too thick, not too thin. So I have here about 2 fingers. That's a good enough size. And then I'm gonna put everything in with the rest of the meat. If you have excessive fat on your pork chops, you can trim some of it. Make sure that all of the meat is covered by the water before you put it into the fire. After the water boils, I'm gonna count 10 minutes and take it off of the fire so we can keep preparing our feijoada. Now that the 30 minutes for the beans have passed and the 10 minutes for the meat has passed as well, we're gonna turn off the heat and we're gonna put the beans into the pot so we can cook it. We're going to fish all of our meat out of the pan and set it to rest. Everything looks extremely pale and totally not appealing, but I promise that it will get better, guys. Now that we have all of our meat outside our pot, we're gonna throw up the water and change the beans water. So you guys can see the color of the water. If we leave our beans on the water for too long, our feijoada will not have the characteristic color. So only 30 minutes. And now we're gonna put 3 times the amount of beans that we have as in water. So I have here about 500 grams of beans. I'm gonna use about 1.5 liters of water. So our pot here has the markings of the liters, so that's what I'm using to base myself. So this should be good enough. And now we're gonna put the beans on medium heat and leave it there for 2 hours. It's been 2 hours and now we're ready to fry the onion and the garlic that are gonna go inside the feijoada and add the meats as well. So after we do that, we're gonna leave the feijoada for about 3 hours and it's gonna be ready and amazing. I'm gonna use some oil just to quickly fry the onion. I'm not gonna fry too much, just until they are starting to get transparent, then I'm gonna add the garlic and move everything to the feijoada pot. I'm gonna add some bay leaves to the feijoada to add that special flavor. This is very characteristic of the feijoada. The garlic and the onion that we just cooked. The meats that we're waiting. Mix a little bit to make sure that everything is covered by the water and the beans. At this point, if you don't have enough water to cover everything, you can add a little bit more. I'm adding 2 more cups of water just to make sure that everything's covered. I'm gonna add some salt. Just a tiny bit of pepper. And a half pound of smoked sausage. Making sure that everything is covered by the water, and now we just let it cook for a couple more hours. Hey! Yes! How are you? Welcome. I'm doing good. How are you? Very good.
Yeah, it's really good. And I'm like out from inside in the cold. It's delicious. Like, it's a good warm up.
Okay. That's like taking all the bean flavor in there.
Was there like you eat the lime after?
No, not the lime, just like.
Oh, squeeze it. That looks awesome.
You picked the right peas, my man.
He knows what he's doing. Oh my god. That's so good.
The best part is that. This is the skin, right?
This is the skin.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. So
Alright,
in Mexico, they also fry it in, right?
Yeah.
But you don't see the huge piece.
Right.
You see like the skin and a little bit of fat.
The smell is
What?
irresistible. And there's sausage.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
See if I remember how to eat this. Damn.
Yeah, that's good. It reminds me of Thanksgiving, like stuffing.
Oh yeah.
Or like dressing. Yeah. Well, the greens are perfect.
So you guys liked it? Is it good?
Definitely.
This is not it, right?
You can tell.
I can have another.
Yeah.
Is there any special occasions when you eat this?
No, not
But
really.
it's like churrasco. It's like always a
Yeah.
event.
Yeah, it's
You
this
know?
is like a big party. So as you guys can tell, it takes a long time. So usually when we get together to do this, we have like a huge bowl of turismo. We eat the whole day, we drink the whole day, and it's a party. And it's like a 4 p.m. lunch, and you guys have this, and then you're gonna be like on the couch just dozing
Yeah.
off.
It's not really something that you would make to eat alone.
Kind of like a southern thing. I used to do it in North Carolina, spend like New Year's Day. And we would have this stuff called Hoppin' John, which is basically rice and beans. And then you would have pork, and then you would have cornbread. And the thing was, it was like each thing was for good luck. Like the greens were like for money. I'm sure someone knows the official meanings, but basically it was just like a tradition every year on New Year's Day.
Guys, this was Feijoada. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe to see more videos like this. Don't forget to like the video and follow us on Instagram. Thank you very much. Até logo.